stuck a line in the sand that said, today I'm starting in security exclusively. And then I got a knock on the door, and the FBI asked me to support them in investigating the September 17th watch list, doing pen test work, and was asked to support a crowdsourced organization to perform pen testing for the US government. I got started and found significant issues that I was alarmed at, trying to look for a positive impact, and I'm dumbfounded. I think that the further we go down this road in cybersecurity, without focusing on fixing the problems, the issue gets worse.
Hello viewers, today we are excited to have Albert E. Whale with us. Albert is a renowned leader in the field of cybersecurity, specializing in quantum, AI, and zero trust methodologies. He's an award-winning international author and a highly sought-after speaker. With over 20 years of experience in cybersecurity, IT security, and entrepreneurship, Albert has a wealth of knowledge and expertise to share. He is also a certified global coach at the Napoleon Hill Institute, where he helps others in their personal development and supports them in achieving their dreams. Albert is also the #1 international best-selling author of the book Hack 2, co-authored with 12 esteemed cybersecurity professionals, offering valuable insights on protecting personal and business information from cyber threats. I am extremely excited to have him today with us. So let's start.
Wow, thank you for that introduction.
Okay, so my first question to you is, reflecting on your extensive career in cybersecurity, what was the initial spark that led you to this field?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that the most memorable event that has touched most of the planet, maybe not you, I'm not sure how old you are, but the events of 9/11, while I was watching the planes hit the buildings in New York City, I was devastated. I was dumbfounded. I'm the father of 6 children, and it was that point in time where I decided, instead of building networks and applications for organizations, that I would do better for cybersecurity. Because as a veteran of the United States Navy, I put service for country and family above myself, and thought that if someone was going to do something to help protect us, it was going to start with me. So 9/11 happened. I stuck a line in the sand that said, today I'm starting in security exclusively. And then I got a knock on the door, and the FBI asked me to support them in investigating the September 17th watch list. Boom, mic drop. That's it. Do you need more?
Yes, I was expecting more.
Oh, okay. So there I started my career in cyber and worked not only in the United States, but internationally. Did a lot of work in Aruba because, as you are aware, their industry is focused on tourism. And American tourists and international tourists don't want to go visit a warm climate if there's no water or electricity for air conditioning. I mean, they got great beaches and the people are fantastic, but they wouldn't have 100,000 people every week going to Aruba to go vacation there without electricity. So cybersecurity is important. It affects our daily lives more than we probably already are aware.
Definitely. Okay, so my next question is, can you share a personal story about a significant discovery or experience that impacted your perspective on cybersecurity?
Yes. So for a while, I was doing pen test work and was asked to support a crowdsourced organization to perform pen testing for the US government. I got started and found significant issues that I was alarmed at. The problem was, when I reported these issues, I was informed that
Hmm.
these issues, though they may be significant,
Hmm.
are out of scope. I was like, wait a minute. These are the findings that I have while I'm doing this test for you.
Hmm.
And you're telling me that even though they're a significant issue,
They're
that
out of
you
scope.
can't report them because they're out of scope. Those are the back doors that the attackers use exclusively, because nothing is ever out of scope for an attacker.
Okay, so my next question to you is, reflecting on global cybersecurity incidents, which do you believe had the most significant positive impact on society and why?
Reflecting on the cybersecurity incidents,
Hmm.
what what had the most impact on society? Um, I'm trying to look for a positive impact, and
Hmm.
I'm dumbfounded. I think that the further we go down this road
Yeah.
in cybersecurity,
Hmm.
without focusing on fixing the problems, the issue gets worse.
They sure does.
Because now, instead of just looking at one organization that was breached, we now can identify everybody that was using that organization, and perhaps all of the entities that are communicating with them,
Hmm.
their neighbor, their friend, their coworker, their boss. And these indicators get lumped together in a database where relationships are correlated, so that attackers have not just one doorway to get through now.
Hmm.
Now they have a whole population, a whole um, resource pool of activities and people that they can associate with to get to the
Hmm.
next target.
Okay, so I will now be talking about your experience as an author. What inspired you to start writing books in cybersecurity?
Wow, that's a really good question. So, 3 years ago, I was looking to make a bigger splash, a bigger
Hmm.
influence on the world because of my 30 years of experience in cyber. I have a lot to share with people.
Hmm.
And in doing so, I signed up for personal development coaching with Bob Proctor.
Hmm.
Bob Proctor was a very well known figure in the personal development industry. And I was contacted by my current mentor, Leona O'Hara, and she asked me a question.
Hmm.
She said, Albert, you've been following Bob Proctor on YouTube and free webinars for 8 years. How has that affected you? And I said, well, to be honest, I understand what he's telling us, but I haven't been able to change.
Hmm.
And she said, well, the reason why you haven't been able to change is because you haven't accepted and made a decision that you need a coach. So I learned at that moment that as soon as I made a decision, that my life would change. And certainly it did. I didn't have the money to start a coaching program.
So what did you do then?
Well, I made the decision that I wanted to work with her because she enlightened me. She
Hmm.
said, as soon as you make the decision to change, the money will show up. And it did.
Oh.
Now, after starting coaching, within 30 days, I had the realization that I had more influence in me than I knew
Hmm.
was available. And I received a message that said, you need to write a book. So I wrote my first book in 8 weeks,
No.
which is incredible, and
Obviously it
published it.
is. Published it too.
Yes, published it and won an award for data protection.
Wow.
30 days after I wrote #hacked, which is the
Mm,
predecessor to the book behind me, Hack 2.
mm,
Um, 30 days afterwards, 14 cybersecurity professionals contacted me and said, "We want to be in your next book."
wow.
This is a dream story, right? I mean, how many
Definitely.
people have this type of experience in their life by
Hmm.
making one decision? So I decided to write #hack 2,
Hmm.
and 12 other professionals experienced the journey with me. I led them through
Yeah.
book design and chapter evolution and collected their materials, and we created #hack 2. It reached #1 international bestseller in more than 4 countries and 40 categories in less than 12 hours.
In less than 12 hours.
In less than 12 hours. So
Wow.
the power of getting a coach, someone certified in personal development, like myself now, because I've
Hmm.
gone from being coached to
Hmm.
expanding that into being able to coach others and being certified in that profession,
Hmm.
will
Right.
change the world.
Okay, so how did the collaborative process work for your second book, Hack 2?
That's a great question. We created a catch up, a sprint, if you will, a timely meeting every week to talk about the book, to
Hmm.
talk about questions that the authors would have,
Hmm.
and to talk about their journey in writing so that I could give them tips and tricks and techniques on what are they creating. And I didn't
Hmm.
tell them what to write.
Okay.
It had to come from them, something that they knew, something that they embraced, something that they wanted to share.
Hmm.
And that evolution for these professionals was life changing for all of them. They all came back and said, "This was a wonderful experience. We'd love to do." We couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else. And then they became international best-selling authors, right?
Okay, so my next question to you is, what challenges did you face while writing and publishing 4 books in less than 2 years?
I can't say that I had many challenges.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, so some people get stuck with problems,
Hmm.
but when I have questions, I will ask myself for an answer or ask God or the universe, whoever you want to have a higher calling to. And I would always get an answer.
Hmm.
I don't know if you do this or not, but people that are into personal development understand that there's a higher power. It can be
Yeah.
anything you want to call it, okay? But
Hmm.
something put us here and something made us in having the ability to create. So we're all creators.
Hmm.
And I look at this as I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. This isn't the human experience. This is a experience I guess I accepted to come here to do.
Hmm.
Um, but being a spiritual being, I have
Hmm.
connections with other people. And when I ask a question to the universe, I always get an answer.
Nice.
Do you?
Yes, I do too.
Okay, then you experience the same thing.
Okay, so the last question to you would be, if cybersecurity experts had superpowers, what do you think would be the most useful or most dangerous superpower in the world of cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity experts do have superpowers
And what are
because they
they?
can help organizations to close the back doors that allow people that aren't authorized into their networks. Now, the danger there is people with that knowledge could
Hmm.
switch to the dark side like Darth Vader did.
Hmm.
Use the force was, the Star Wars mantra. Use the force. Well, the force has good and it has bad. So
Hmm.
which side are you working on? Um, the problem I see is if you don't have a vested interest with the professionals that are helping you, then if you're not supporting them and asking
Hmm.
them for all of their information, what are they holding back? Because, like the program that I was working on in a
Hmm.
crowd-funded public venue, my concern was, okay, you're allowing people access to these tools
Hmm.
and these resources, and they're going to tell you maybe 50% of the problems and keep some of them in the background so that they can sell them. I don't know. The dark web is a really dangerous place, right?
I have already had my last question, but out of curiosity, I just want to know, are there any new books coming up? Are you working on something right now?
I am.
Okay. And what is it called?
Oh, you do want to know. Okay.
Yes.
Um, it's about zero trust.
Okay.
I've
Perfect.
been working in the field of cybersecurity for quite a while, but my trust level is off the screen here. It's way
Hmm.
above what you can see. And I've been working in what we call zero trust for more than 15 years, although I don't think zero trust's been defined for more than 5. Okay. So I'm going to be writing about zero trust.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lovely time chatting with you. Do you have
Thank
anything to
you.
say to our listeners?
Yeah, believe in what you want to do. And if you're afraid of doing something, do it
Hmm.
anyway, because on the other side of fear is where you excel and you succeed.
Wow.
Don't be
Thank you.
afraid and get a coach.
Nice.
Everybody that's professional has coaches. I mean, Olympic athletes, actors, anybody that wants to be a professional has a coach.
Hmm.
You don't stop learning because you graduated high school or college, do you?
No.
And if you do, well, how far do you expect to get?
Thank you so much, Albert. It was a very insightful conversation.